What up, everybody? It's Young Black Jedi. Yeah, you guessed it. Back again. Yo, the modern world is falling apart. If you really look at the structure culturally, the structure of society needs to change, right? And the operating system of how we operate culturally has to really start developing. Because if we don't, we're gonna start to really see this crash out, right? And I could take it to my own personal life. Like, I've crashed out, like, dude, bad, homies. Like, you know what I mean? My brothers and sisters, I've crashed out hard. Like, crashed cars, cocaine, mountains of it, alcohol by the gallon, all these things, dude, that like just aren't who I am at a soul level, at a deep emotional, spiritual, metaphysical level. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of these programs that I was running and operating just are destructive. It's completely destructive. It's completely destroyed everything, and I allowed it. Okay, in the end, I can blame empire and government. Yeah, and I don't think that a lot of what they're doing is righteous. I don't think almost pretty much all of it is unrighteous for the most part, and we still hold accountability for the choices that we made. You know, once you get to a certain level, it's you're responsible, right? And I think that us as a collective, we have to start really looking at these things if we really want to start building a newer operating system, whether it's, you know, economically or culturally or socially. Like, these are the things that we're gonna have to start looking at if we want to be able to start pioneering to a new world, right? Taking back what was taken from us and being able to delegate that to those in need, right? To those that need help, those that are hurting, those that are wounded, old people, children. Just look at the modern American society. Look how they treat children. They just want to condition them into all these things, right? Look how they treat old people. Just throw them in a nursing home. My family's from Africa. If you do that in Kenya, there's people gonna look at you like you throw. Do you have any people that told me in Africa that are shocked that those are even a business? It's really telling of the West. You know, the West is bleeding out, and if it does not start getting in there to get that bullet out and put some gauze on it, it's gonna continue to keep bleeding out. We need each other. We need the people. We need each other. We need God. There's no other avenue. It's like, I have spent my whole life wasted on other people and doing other things for society and doing things for my parents and doing things for this and doing things for that. And what did it ever really, like, it amounted to something. Particularly my parents are great people, so it's, you know, and some of their ideas may be different than mine. So that's okay. They did the best for me, right? And a lot of society has too, but when their intention is that, but like, particularly the modernity society, that's how it started. You know, it started out the way it started out here in America, 1776. But then we've seen how it has translated, you know, as the world modernizes, as modernity becomes stronger, and this more scientific, imperialistic empire continues to look to expand its territories and looks to expand its powers and looks to expand its conditioning and to use its machines and its biological weapons and its psychological weapons, all of it, to keep us bogged down. Because once we can start to flourish and start to free up some space, we can get the team together. We can start getting people together that all have also done the same thing, right? So then we have the capacity. Because if not, then we'll be like Antifa, angry, very upset, very just, I mean, you saw what they've done, is beat up people, hit up people over the side of the head, like whatever they're doing, they are a very violent organization, right? And that's not how we are gonna build the new superstructure. We're not gonna build it by what Antifa's doing. I mean, they're just, well, we know about them. I'm not gonna go too much into that right now anyways, but it's up to us to cooperate and to be able to value each other and see the truth of this modern world. Because if we don't, then these things are only gonna become more complex, right? And they're only gonna become almost to the point of no return. That's almost where it's gonna start going if we don't. We're not there. We're totally not there. And I personally, I'm an optimist. I'm not a black pillar. I'm not gonna sit here and say that, if we don't, but we have to start being real about what's going on, you know, all around the world, guys. Let's all stand up together. Let's get on YouTube. Let's share our voices. Let's be heard. God is using this platform, and this channel to deliver a message through Mr. Refik, through Mr. Daniel, shout out to all of them, through Myron, through a lot of people. You know what I mean? Do I agree with everybody on every single thing? No, but like, I'm willing to hear what people have to say about what's going on in this world to sharpen my perspective. Like, it's a lot of it is perspective taking. How much can you take on? How many different perspectives can you hear without your ego structure trying to push it away? And because as we soften that structure and open up more, we can start to hear more of what everybody's saying. You can listen to somebody that's on one side or the other and be like, wow, I really sharpened my whole perspective. Critical thinking, right? And we've lost that in the modern world, right? We need to take on all these perspectives. Some things you're not gonna agree with. There's a lot of things that, like, there's some things in the world I don't agree with. I'm not gonna say a lot, but there's quite a few. Yeah, but there's a meaning in everything, and it's important for us to be able to see that and be able to connect with that and be able to learn from that and start thinking on our own about what it is that is going on, not only in our own experience, but what's going on out in the world, right? It's our job to do that so that we can start bringing people together so we can cooperate. That's the best way that we can go about changing this world, in this dunya, because empire is very strong. Modernity is strong. They have the power. They have the power to do what it is that they so choose. And again, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Now you start to see really what's going on in the context of the fabric of the society. The fabric of the society has to continue to keep moving forward in a more righteous light, right? It has to continue to keep growing. We need investment in America. We need to bring our people that are sick on the streets into a place where we can help them. We can't just leave these people. We can't just leave people behind, right? And that's where empire exploits that. They know that very well, modernity. They will prey on the caring of people. They'll pull on the heartstrings of people and keep people emotionally inept to what's going on and ignorant, including myself. I've gone through that, and for the most part, it's not something that I really want to continue to keep doing and dealing with. And I'm trying to think of ideas that are our ideas of our humanity, of real people, real everyday workers. Bob, that one's the gas station down there. What's his story? What does he think about what's going on? It's not all about me and my ideas. And I know sometimes that in the past I used to make it that way, but this time around we're turning the leaf. And I've always wanted to hear other people too, but I think sometimes I could be so like, come from a political family, and John Keane was one of the founders of Kenya, and I think I have a lot of fire with that, which is good. We want to bring that because that's what will inevitably allow for us to start building new structures together, right? We need the men to get together. We need the women. We need the people. We need everybody. I mean, if we just point the finger, that's how they beat us. That's how they keep us emotionally controlled and inept to what's going on. Do you see what I'm saying? And as my content continues to keep growing and I keep rising, we're all gonna link and merge together. Drop a comment, drop a thumbs up, give it a like, do what it is that you feel like doing. And if you don't, that's cool too. We're all welcome here. Everybody's welcome. I just got this little stick. I feel great about it. I'm like ready to keep making content. I'm ready to keep creating. Co-create with God. That's the essence of life itself, writing the resentment list, doing the hard things, having the hard conversations. That is what I am interested in doing to become the man and the human being that I am destined to become, and also to continue to allow for the human psyche to just keep unfolding, right? As we unfold, society will unfold. That's just naturally how it's gonna go anyways, right? But if we just keep resisting like I was, right? I kept going back into the addictions, going back into the old habits, the old relationships, the ex-girlfriends, the old whatevers, right? The more I kept doing that, the more I'm just blocking myself from getting to my higher destiny that you all know in your heart is possible for you. You know what your destiny is. And we all need to pull together so that we can all start hearing each other's, so that we can all start building a structure. All of our destinies can build a new world together as one unit. That's what matters. Again though, but if we're just gonna point the finger, and I know nobody on here is doing that, but if a vast swath of the society is gonna point the finger and resent the other person or resent their family or resent we're gonna be bogged down. We're not gonna have enough space. We're not gonna have enough capacity to actually start moving the wheels against empire, right? Against modernity. Like if we don't, then it's gonna get real. It's already getting real now, but you know what I mean? The time is coming where finally people like ourselves are finally looking at the world and we're finally seeing, wait a minute, these things that I had in my life, a lot of it was not what I wanted, but yet it's okay, right? We also don't want to hold a resentment towards empire, because I'm finally starting to let go of that. And I'm feeling it each day. My coach got me writing this list. He's got me writing this, resentment kind of list thing, and it's our own thing, and it's working real well. I got a list. Where's my part? Where's their part? And then how can God best serve all of us together as one? That is the way we can get this country back. We can get the United States back. We can take it back. We can build. But if we're just gonna argue and fight and bicker and point fingers, it's gonna become very difficult. We need each other. Empire banks on us pointing fingers at each other. They know it. And that's how they've kind of curated this modern world around just envy, jealousy, and anger and hatred. And a lot of this modern world is curated around these lower, dark vibrations, right? Vibrational frequencies, excuse me. So it's up for us to start clearing house so we can get into the light, so that we can start borning the new in the light. That's the whole point of it. You could say it in 100 different languages. That is a more metaphysical sort of, but there's many different ways that you can express that. You know what I mean? Many different ways you can express that about borning a new civilization, right? That's the whole point. That's why we're all here. We're here so that we can continue to keep looking at what's going on in the world and continue to keep merging with souls. We're here to save souls. We're here to work with souls. We're here to love souls. We're here to do the real thing. That's what we're here for. That's the new world. That's the new superstructure. Notice how all these other things, like some of these, like the behaviors of, maybe you have like an old friend or something, and maybe he's like going through a problem. He has this thing going on, and he keeps calling you, and he keeps messaging you, and he keeps, as you're trying to develop, right? And you get frustrated with it, and it's like, that's almost kind of how I feel with a lot of us here on YouTube. We're like really putting out good content, not even that we get so frustrated, guys. It's just, I think as men, we just don't want to be lied to. And I think there's a lot of great men on here who are making a lot of great content that can help build the new superstructure. As long as we all can continue to cooperate with each other. It's not saying kumbaya and everything else like that. It's just we can be able to construct a new world from this modern world. Do you see what I'm saying? The deeper we go, the better it's going to get. And the better it gets, the deeper we're really going to go. Do you see what I'm saying? And overall, I heard that somewhere. I got that from somebody. I didn't make that. Shout out to homegirl. And yeah, it's. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for the structure. I'm excited for the new paradigm. Just like Captain John Smith in Pocahontas when he went to forge the new world with all of them. We're on that same path. That's like the path we're on. Righteousness is winning. Righteousness is the answer. Righteousness and love are the hallmarks of freeing ourselves from this modern world. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. I'll be back later. May the force be with you.